Good evening, brothers. Today we're going to take a look at the Marsoc and A&S prep package that you receive when you want to go to Marsoc. I have no intentions of going to Marsoc. I just got this from a buddy because I wanted to be more physically fit for combat marine, and this is a lot right here. We'll go day by day. We're going to start with week 2 because week 1 is a lot of testing out and then a little bit of exercises, but more so focused on you getting a baseline for how fast you are in all of the standards. And then we're going to dive into week 2, and you'll see that this whole thing repeats itself pretty often with a little bit like gut grinds, test outs kind of at the end of each card. So this right here from session 7 to session 11 of the workouts. 12 is your rest day, usually your Sunday, the holy day, or whatever day you missed. You can make your rest day, but you don't skip a session, you do every session. So here it is in its full. Going into session 1, or session 7, sorry. 5 rounds, pull-ups at 30% max reps every 60 seconds. 1 round max pull-ups, 60 seconds. Basically, when you do the same thing with crunches, so basically what it's saying is max reps, 30% of your max reps, 5 rounds of those, and the last one is 60 seconds to rep out as many pulls as possible. Same with crunches. 5 rounds, max reps, 60 seconds to rep out as many rounds as possible. When you move on from that, it's kind of your warm up, your buy-in to your 3 rounds, 800-meter intervals at 3-mile short pace. So the way we do that is once you get your baseline, there's a chart that has all the intervals and like where your interval pace was. So like if your pace was for your 3 miles, like if you run a 19-minute 3-mile, then your 800-meter pace should be like 2:05. I don't know, something like that. But there's a chart that you get with this whole thing. The PM, if you thought you were done, you're not. That's just your morning, wakes you up. In the evening, you're about 3 rounds, 3 miles, work interval, 5-minute break based on chart time. So 3-mile run, rep run, and then there's the same thing, a chart for what your 12-mile time was. This is to build your 12-mile time faster. What it does is interval pace, 5-minute break. All right, moving on to session 8, 5 rounds, 150-meter swimming camis, 300-meter at the 300-meter interval pace. Everything is based around intervals, as you can see. There's a chart, there's your baseline, and then there's your intervals. It's kind of the philosophy behind this workout plan. The Marine Corps is like, keep it simple, stupid. We're going to make you do it. You're just going to work hard. Everything you do swimming is going to be in camis. And it will also be doing either the combat stroke, say that wrong, or the freestroke. Not freestyle. Breaststroke. 3 rounds, 30-second tread of like both hands up, and then 50 seconds one hand, 50 seconds the other. Or 10-minute tread following that. And then your real kicker is going to be the 10 rounds, 500 meters with 5 burpees, and then 10 flutter kicks. Jump back in the pool, get after it. Your PM, this is going to be your 6-mile focus one. So you're going to do 2 rounds of 2-mile run at interval pace for 6 mile and 4 minutes in between. Moving on to session 9. Now this is your trunk building. This is kind of your lifting day, and it's focused on like whole body exercises. So 50 sandbag get-ups at 80 pounds. Simple, pull your shoulder get up. 4 rounds of O course, rest 60 seconds in between. Probably bring the sandbag to the O course or do the 50 sandbags and run to the O course, do that. 4 rounds of 20 standing founders, 20 low back lunge, 20 kneeling founders, and then 60-second founders carry at 45 pounds. This 45 pounds, you're going to easily get up and up higher and higher. It's going to be like 80 pounds by the end of the day. You're going to follow that with like your stretch. You're going to have to figure out on your own. It's not like the Green Beret training program where they give you deliberate stretches and everything. You literally just get a card that looks, here's your session, here's your workout. They don't even explain founders and stuff. You got to Google that. But your 45 pounds, you'll be able to get up to like 80 pounds for 6 pounds carry. They just say stretch, instep, stride stretch, hip flexor, lat pack. So do whatever you need to do. You're going to want to do a lot of stretching for this. Following that, you have session 10. Session 10 is literally just a copy of session 7, both AM and PM. And then session 11, this is your gut check. This is, first off, these like exercises that you're going to see, building your trunk. That's kind of like what it's doing. And also, this one's just got 500 step ups at 50-pound rock. Step ups, like something a little bit higher than what your normal step would be, kind of crossing that, stepping over. It's going to take you a while. And then 4 rounds at the end of that, after you're fucking broken off, you got to do 4 rounds of 200-meter run with an 80-pound sandbag. And then you have 50 step ups following each one of those 200-meter runs with your 80-pound sandbag. And then, lastly, your kicker, the 4 rounds, 10 by back extensions, 10 by standing slashers, 45-pound dumbbell, 5 by Russian twist with a 45-pound dumbbell, and 60-second farmer carry. You use 45 to start out. I recommend doing that. Lastly, I forgot to mention, these are the standards that you do week 1. So, U.S. Marine Corps PFT, 3-miler, pull-ups, and they stay with the crunches. They don't do the plank. Anybody can plank for 420, which is a mental game. Crunches is a test of strength. They make you do the crunches right. Make sure you're doing the crunches right. None of that BS that you used to do in the original PFT, the fake crunches. Full PFT, 300 meter in cami swim, 10 meter tread, 12-mile ruck run at 50 pounds with 4 canteens, 10-pound rubber rifle, and your LBV, some sort of chest rig, just to get that weight and that feeling in 6-mile run. The funny thing about this right here, cool stuff isn't a Green Beret thing. PFT, like the Army, whatever, Army makes you do pull-ups and stuff to try to be a Green Beret. This is hilarious because the 12-mile ruck run for the Army is 45 pounds. Marine Corps said, hoorah, made 50 pounds. Just because. Makes sense though. 45-pound plate, backwards a little bit. And then the Green Berets run is 5-mile run instead of 6-mile run. What I will say about this whole training program, this is a job. This is your second job. When I was doing this program, just trying to stay in shape and work out with my buddies who wanted to go to A&S, just because I'm lonely and the only way they'll hang out with me is if I work out with them. It's like, wake up in the morning, have 3 hours to do this stuff. And usually the morning ones are a little bit shorter, and then this is easily 3 hours, changing, going around, getting all this stuff together. Each of your reps are going to be that. But this whole thing is just another job, and you got to treat it like that. This is your part-time job so that you can prepare for A&S. It's a lot. If you aren't already working out, then you're going to want to spread out these sessions further. And you're going to want your A&S day to be pretty far out because you will break your body down. Make sure you're eating, especially in the 3-mile ruck runs. They come with a little bit of guidance. Just talk to some people. I would highly recommend looking at if you want to go to A&S, looking at the Green Beret program. Green Berets and A&S pretty much follows the same structure as the Green Beret selection. Like, they fall off of each other. Green Berets have been doing it for a long time. They recognize that. They realize it's good. It's a ruck-based thing. It's an endurance-based thing. Just the Marines, when they decide to make their training plans, they're like, okay, we're going to make it hard. And we want guys who are hard, and we're going to make something hard for them. We're going to get into shape. And this is that right here. I would recommend looking at the Green Beret program, though, because they have far more knowledge when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to sleep. They literally have an entire schedule for you during the day. For sleeping, they have a schedule for you for nutrition throughout the day based off your workouts, doing 2 workouts a day versus 1, what your sleep schedule should be, like when you stop playing video games and stuff. Basically, if you were never an athlete before, if you never did anything, or you did high school sports or whatever, and you had no idea what nutrition was, you had no idea what anything, they're going to tell you. The Green Beret book, it tells you. And that's what I recommend to my fellow Marines. If they want to get into combat fitness, it's like, hey, so follow this, figure out your nutrition, make sure you're sleeping enough protein and everything. But you got to be disciplined. That's the biggest thing. All right, typical Marine Corps fashion, we do everything on the whiteboard, but that is pretty much all I've got. This is a 8-week program, I think. Each one kind of looks like this. They're a little bit different. Your crushers on Saturday, your long days, that's a gut check every time. I don't, if your goal is to just be really good at rucking and really good at cardio, your muscles, you're not going to be a big jack dude in the gym, but you're going to be the most lethal guy there. That's all I got to say about that. If you like this, I can do more. I can look at the Green Beret program. I can look at some the Thunder program, which is also special forces. We get a bunch of combat exercise forces. And I can also go over PT plan, something you should focus on. So, that's all I gotta say. Thank you for your time.